So I don't know how many of you have tried making your own YouTube videos, but it isn't always easy. Filming on my own is something that I really don't like doing because, as you know, I prefer to present things properly rather than doing the typical YouTuber camera on the end of your arm thing. And it's doubly difficult when you're at a large trade show which is infested with students who all think they're absolutely hilarious by waving at the camera when you're trying to get some work done. So I'm afraid this video is going to be narrated rather than presented, as all of the footage I shot with me on camera turned out to be pretty unusable. So I visited the Autosport show. It's an annual event, but this is my first time going. It's mainly an event that seems aimed at the industry, with large sections dedicated to specialist manufacturing and all that kind of stuff. This year there were a few highlights, including a celebration of 40 years of Williams F1. I'm going to put together a few videos highlighting some of the best bits, but for now I have one big update for all of you guys. It regards the seats in my car. As you know, they've been troublesome from day one and I haven't had them fixed, and there haven't been any updates on the Evora lately. A lot of you have been asking why that is, and well, it's because I wanted to wait until I had some sort of news to give you, which I now have. Lotus took 5 attempts at fixing the seats in my car, but they just could never manage it. I was told that they had to be replaced, and I was told to expect a replacement last July. Now that replacement never arrived. I then found out that the new design of seat that we were waiting for was actually going to be the same as I already had in my car because they'd already been upgraded to the current spec. So I wasn't particularly confident that the new seats would be any better. I suggested that we get a pair of seats like the Evora Sport 410 has. Lotus said that they'd look into it, but they just never got back to me. So like 4 months went past and they kept telling me that I was going to get new seats, but they never materialised. So I told JCT that it had to be sorted. To give them their due, they realised that the problem did need fixing and they asked me for suggestions. So I went to Cobra, a seat maker with an excellent reputation based in the UK. We discussed seat options for the car, and they said to me that they were developing a new seat called the Nagaro, which would be ideal for my car because it was supportive but not compromised in the way that a racing seat would be when you're trying to use it in a road car. And the seat was being worked on so that it would fit very nicely aftermarket in a McLaren 12C or 650S, and they said it should be an excellent fit for the Evora. They invited me to come to their stand on the Autosport show to meet the team, to try out all of their seats and see which one worked for me. So I went to the show and tried their seat out. I loved the design, but I decided that I wanted something that was perhaps a little bit more supportive and had some higher sides on it. So we looked at the seat, and with their seats, they're all made to custom order. So what we did was we pulled out the cushions on the seat, I sat in it again, and it worked lots better. So what I'm going to do, fingers crossed, is get a pair of Nagaro seats for the Evora, and we're going to have the cushions trimmed so they've got a thin layer of neoprene on them so that you can sit nice and deeply in the seat. I'm not worried about it being uncomfortable because I've got a lot of natural padding anyway. The Evora rides pretty comfortably for what it is, and I like a good supportive seat. I think they're quite comfortable. And the seats are a lot better than the equivalent seat in the Sport 410, which is derived from the XC's Cup seat, because those seats are designed for a much smaller car, and when you're in the Evora, basically they stab you in the size. If you haven't sat in one, you won't know what I mean, but if you have, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's the big update. I'm going to keep you guys updated with all the progress on the new seats, and hopefully I'm going to visit the Cobra factory to see just how they are made. They're known pretty well, and if you watch the touring cars, British touring cars in particular, a lot of the guys in that series have Cobra seats in their cars, and if you've been watching the Grand Tour, you'll have seen the Cobra name quite a few times because the boys have been using them in some of their interesting creations. So thanks for watching, and keep an eye out for some more short videos of other cool stuff from the Autosport show. Bye now.